One is the dry corridor, where we've now had 3 years of recurrent drought, much of it linked to rainfall volatility with the climate change, and then also what we like to call the coffee lands, which is a large area of production throughout Central America. It's more kind of what you would imagine as a tropical kind of area you'd see in Central America. These areas, the coffee lands, also happen to be the major producers of water for the entire region. So where there are coffee forests is where water is produced for most Central American towns and cities. This gives you an idea of the dry corridor. Pretty dry, pretty difficult to produce, and this is what the coffee lands look like. They both have their challenges and their advantages. Basically, in Guatemala right now, we're reaching about 15,000 families throughout these different segments. We have 4 primary donors for agricultural activities and 3 areas that we've focused our work on, which are climate smart agriculture, natural resource management, extension services, and nutrition sensitive agriculture. So that link between agriculture and nutrition, which is very important in Guatemala. This is what our average participants look like in our agriculture program. This is definitely something we need to work on. Up top, our gender balance, especially when we're working with older farmers, which is the majority of the farmers we're working with, they tend to be more male. A lot of our more youth-focused activities in agriculture are starting to bring in more females. High levels of literacy, high levels of day laboring, and pretty small farm size. Basically, the takeaways from this data is farm sizes are small. Most of our farmers are also day laborers, so they don't just live from their own production. And although the population of Guatemala is very young, and there are a lot of young people in the campo, in the field, they do not tend to be that interested in agriculture, except for in very specific activities, often around marketing and business side of agriculture, and some of the more technologically focused aspects of agriculture. A method that we use frequently in CRS, which is based in Catholic social teaching, is the idea of C, so very similar to the scientific method, kind of observing the problem, but also seeing it in terms of solidarity with the families we're serving, judging or more kind of analysis of the problem, and then action. And I would add one more step, which is monitoring and evaluation to see if the action's working. So we've identified 4 main problem areas that we're working towards resolving in CRS in Guatemala. Climate change is actually the first one. So climate change, dry corridor, rains vary. Not that there's really less rain, just that rainfall is much more volatile. And given those soils I showed in the first slide of the dry corridor, those soils are not ready to capture the water when it comes, and they run off. Malnutrition is a huge issue in Guatemala. It's the 4th most malnourished country in the world, and most malnourished in the Western Hemisphere. Very much linked to agriculture and production. Often, many of these families have a reasonable income, around an average income for the country, and still their children are all malnourished. Unequal and exclusionary market relationships, big problem throughout, I think, all of agriculture, specifically in Central America, due to the level of agricultural production that's focused on cash crops, cacao, coffee, sugarcane, banana, palm oil, macadamia nut, horticulture. Most of these crops being produced in Central America are leaving. A lot of them you can't eat or you wouldn't want to eat, a large volume of them. So market relationships, absolutely key. And the good thing is that there's quite a few opportunities, because a lot of these crops produced in Central America have become trendy in North America and Europe, have a more social bent to them, specifically something like coffee. And so there are opportunities to work on in more inclusive value chains. And the last one, where universities can certainly help, is lack of data, information, and evidence, especially evidence kind of on shorter feedback loops to help organizations like CRS take decisions to